Moving on from the south.
Let's move on.
The Alps.
Right.
Because that's where we moved
Yes.
to next, after living in the south.
We did.
for a
We
while.
lived there for a couple of years.
We did. So we lived in both those places for a couple of years, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what do you think of the Alps?
Well, it was always my dream to live in the mountains because I've got this just love affair with the Alps, and it's another place that I've always been to on holidays and dreamt of living there and having the whole experience, waking up with the mountains and, you know, living with them throughout all the seasons. And I loved the Alps. Okay, I don't know where to begin with this one.
Loved or love?
I still love the Alps.
So, what you loved going there? What about living there? What about
Yes.
What about in the winter months?
Yes.
Dealing with the winter months.
So it was fun at the beginning. It was fun. It was like, oh, it's snowing. Oh my God, the
Yeah.
snow, it doesn't stop, the snow, okay? And it's guaranteed snow in the winter, guaranteed white Christmas.
And that's one of the points, is the snow doesn't stop in the
And
Alps.
then it kept snowing after Christmas. It didn't stop. So you had Christmas and then it just obviously keeps on snowing. And literally every time we had, because we lived in we didn't live in a ski resort.
No,
We deliberately didn't want to anyway, but to live in a ski resort, you are looking at really high prices. You have to have deep pockets to live in a ski resort. And we wanted a really authentic experience anyway, so we really wanted to just have the real French mountain life experience,
and we had
away
that.
from the tourists.
We certainly had that. I mean, the resorts.
And we did.
I enjoyed the resorts.
So we found a farmhouse, and we basically looked for somewhere to rent. So luckily you had a friend who had an apartment in the Alps, and he offered for us to go and stay there to help us out so we could look. So that actually gave us a base, and so we didn't really calculate everything all the time. When we do things, it's quite spontaneous as well. We don't go, right, we've got to find somewhere there, and it's got to be here, and it's got to be like this. We just kind of went with where the wind blew us a little bit, actually.
We should plan more.
No, because it takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, that's true enough.
And that's just not how it worked for us. It's never worked like that for us.
No, it never has.
We have had a plan, but it's not been like to the point.
We've never
letter.
We've never drawn it out like that. We know what we want to do, know where we want to go. It's just about where are we, how are we going to do it, and where are we going to go to.
We said to your kind friend, who really, thanks so much for that, it really helped us out, but we said, okay, we're going to stay, we'll base ourselves in Val Thorens, okay? So we weren't far from Moutier. That was the town that we went down to, and that was the town we discovered, basically. And that's the town we went round and visited all the agencies and asked them about places to rent. And we had basically 10 days to find somewhere.
Yeah, well, we went there for the holiday, and we thought, well, while we're here, we'll have a look and see what there is.
Well, we went there specifically to find somewhere to rent, though, didn't we?
Well, I went there. I wasn't as specific to find somewhere to rent. But yeah,
Well,
we
really
were.
were on the same page.
We were on the same page.
Oh, right.
But it was more of a case of, for me, it was a case of if we found somewhere, we found somewhere. But if we didn't, then it was just a nice break away.
Oh yeah, me too. I was like that because there was nothing guaranteed.
No.
But my mission was ultimately to try to find somewhere, hopefully, that we would find somewhere. And so we went to a few agencies, and that's how we ended up in that area, because of that, your friend offering us that place as a base. That became our search area, basically. And then we found somewhere. We went to an agency and they found somewhere not too far away from there.
Yeah, it wasn't far at all, actually. And it was
in Pussy.
Yeah, it was very much rural.
It was called Pussy, a little village on the Col de la Madeleine.
It was very, very rural, very French. Yeah.
And we got married there, didn't we?
We did get married there. Yeah, absolutely. And it was it's a lovely little place, but it was, it's tough. It's hard life. Hard life living in the Alps.
It was an experience.
In the summer, it's beautiful. It's hot, and you've got all the beautiful walking, and the mountains are stunning. You've got the lakes, and that's really nice. But then, over half the year, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, we weren't far from Annecy.
No, yeah, we weren't.
So our children learnt to swim in the lakes there. I loved all that. I mean, all that part. I mean, I still love the Alps. I'd go there now. I do miss them. I get a yearning for them. I do. I love. But I think if we were to live in the Alps, I would want to live in a ski resort or somewhere where it's a bit more lively, where there's actually a supermarket not far away, because we didn't have any of those things where we lived. No, which made life very hard, because it meant that when you were snowed in, you were stuck. You could get stuck up your mountain. Although the snow ploughs were pretty good, they were quite regular.
I mean, the roads are always clear.
But there were big boulder rocks, those big...
Oh, those landslides that happened.
We had landslides and things, yeah, we did. And it blocked the roads sometimes for quite a long time, so you couldn't go up and down. And it was quite difficult at times, that's all. And I think all the digging out the snow, the car just got completely snowed in. And so, we had to make some hot wine, and, we put our salopettes on, and we just went out. We took turns, didn't we? I'd go out, and then you'd go out, and we'd go together.
Yeah, but there's, it was I enjoyed it for a holiday. For a holiday, it's nice. I wouldn't want to live there again. There was no work there.
Work is not easy. C'est pas évident.
Depending on what you do for work, there's no. Yeah, for me, there was no work there.
Not for you to do what you do.
No, not for what I do.
Unless you want to just work in a bar or in a ski resort of some sort, be a ski instructor.
Yeah.
You could be an English teacher potentially.
There is work around there, but it depends on what you do.
But it's very...
Yeah, if you do like office work, that sort of thing,
inconsistent
there is no office work.
It's inconsistent work.
There is, and it's seasonal. It's hugely seasonal. So in the summer, you'll get some places that will be open because they'll have summer sports, but then some of them, like Val Thorens, for example, that pretty much is shut all through the summer, and then it makes all the money in the winter, because when the snow comes, that's their life.
And
and that's everywhere.
You are living somewhere that buzzes in the winter, but it's dead in the summer. Crazy. I mean, dead. It is just. There is nothing going on.
There's people who live there all year, but there's a couple of shops, but none of the bars and that are open. Well, they are, but there's no nightlife really. But in the winter,
it depends what you want.
It's crazy nightlife.
I didn't mind too much that it was dead, because we always found something else to do. We used to go to the lakes.
Oh, there's always things to do. Yeah.
And we'd always find something else to do. But otherwise, it wasn't the most interesting place. But then it's the mountains, it's beautiful, it's fantastic, and I absolutely love the mountains. I think Bourg-Saint-Maurice was nice. Really nice.
But you've got to have, I think, and it's very, I suppose in a way it's similar to where we are now. Depending on what you do, you've got to have your own business.
Yeah.
That's how, as an expat, don't use that word lightly, but as an expat, that's how a lot of them survive, by having their own business. And in the mountains, in the Alps, they'll be running and helping with the chalets, or doing chalet management or handyman work and maintenance and that sort of side of things. Or there's some of them who are financial consultants, or doing the kind of work that you do now, I suppose, helping people out with all their bills and managing their services. Like for me, even around here, for me, there's no work. I wouldn't find work around here at the moment. No. I'm lucky I don't need to, because I work from home.
We'll come round to that. We're in the Alps.
But in the Alps, it's a tough. It's beautiful place, but it's a hard life. That's how I feel.
Unless you've got deep pockets.
Oh, of course.
And then you don't have a problem. You go and buy your chalet, and you know, you can go and buy it somewhere where you've got all the facilities and everything, and the shops and you know, supermarkets.
If you've got deep pockets, you can do anything you want there. I mean,
that's the thing. For what we wanted, it just wasn't going to be realistic.
No. And to buy property there, because nothing's flat, obviously, so you don't get much land, and you're going by square meterage. So each square meter there is expensive.
So if you want a garden,
you've got to have
it's going to be it's practically impossible.
Hugely deep pockets, because
unless you've got a lot of money to spend.
To find family properties, most of them are holiday lets, so they're small little apartments, and if you can afford them, you can make a good living renting those out.
Or you might find a house with a garden, but it's going to be miles out. You're going to be somewhere really secluded.
Yeah, you're not going to be.
Okay, you're not going to. No, you're going to be really somewhere in the middle of nowhere, really.
A little bit out.
So it depends what you want, really, if that's a problem or not. But that's not really something that we wanted.
No, not.
I mean, I like being out in the countryside, because that's what where we are now. That's how we like it. But I don't want to be completely out in the sticks either. I like to be near things.
Being completely out in the sticks in a place where you get meters of snow a day, all through the winter, that's not something that I would want, because that's tough.
Especially when you're a family, you've got children, you've got to do the school runs, you've got things to do, like every day, in and out, things to do. It's complicated.
Yeah.
But I think if you're thinking of going to the Alps and you really want to do it, you have to go and do it for yourself.
Yes.
Don't you?
Definitely.
You have to see if it works for you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't dispute it. For us, it's not something where I would want to move back to. Love it. Would go there on holiday. Happily go there on holiday any time of the year.
Yeah.
But unless fortunes change and my pockets become extremely deep, I wouldn't want to own or live in a property there. I don't think.
No.
But that's the Alps. So
yes.
Love the Alps. Recommend it. Plan properly. Think about actually what you want, because
don't rush it.
Don't rush it, and make sure you've got a plan of how you're going to earn a living. Bear that in mind. So that leads us now onto location number 3, where we are now.
The northwest.
The northwest of France, which is not too hot, not too cold, not too hilly. It is. It's almost Goldilocks country around here. And there is.
It's lovely and green.
It's lovely and green. In the summer, it's warm. I mean, it was 30 degrees yesterday, almost 30 degrees today. In the winter, it's not.
It's quite warm actually.
Too cold, but it's lovely. It's really nice here. Really nice here. And we've got the coast not far away, an hour from a couple of coastlines, and we've got chateaus nearby as well. So
I love the location here.
Yeah, and it's affordable as well. The last 2 places that we've moved to, I'd say not completely unaffordable, but you've got to have an income, and if you want to have somewhere reasonably nice, you've got to be well out of the way there. But here,
like home.
It feels like home, and we're not too far away from civilization.
No.
For what we've got, I mean, we could have bought something smaller and been
close to a town.
A lot closer to a town, and it would have still been affordable, but that wasn't the choice we made.
It wouldn't have been the same kind of house. It would have been something different.
It would have been a more modern house. The garden wouldn't have been anywhere near as big. It would have been a lot smaller. Yeah. But we didn't need to be in a big town. So.
And it's not far. The town isn't far from here.
No, we're not. We've got a few
towns.
Decent-sized towns, not far from here.
We've got one that way.
And we've got
we've got towns everywhere.
45 minutes to an hour. We've got 2 major cities, so we are in a good location.
Yeah, and we can get to Paris in 2 hours.
Yeah, 2.5 hours by 2.5 hours by train, isn't it, from here?
2 hours.
Yeah.
We're pretty much in Paris on a train.
Yeah. So it's a good location. It's nice here. Work, I think, is an interesting topic, I think, to discuss here, because I think it sits in line with what we mentioned about the Alps. I think where as an expat you've got to have some sort of understanding and a way to earn money.
Definitely, you've got to be able to, I would say, you know, if you're going to move to France, you've got to learn French.
Yes.
You've got to learn the language, because you've got to fall on your feet, you know, and at some point you have to fall on your feet, and you've got to be serious about moving to France. If you want to move to France, you've got to be organised, you've got to know the lifestyle that you want, you've got to know what it is you're looking, what you want to gain from living in France, you know? I mean, I've always lived in France on and off anyway, so for me it's different because I never had to think about moving to France, really. I didn't have to, you know, ask myself, where do I want to be? Do I like France? What is France like? Because I know France because my mum is French, so I have French family here, and I've always been here. And it's always been another, I know it's always been another option, and it has always been another place that I can call home. So that's really great. And I know that, I mean, I love the culture. I'm here not to be English, I'm here because I want to be French, because I love France. So I love, you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but if you choose to live in a country...
Oh, you've got to live by the law of the land.
You've got to love the culture, you've got to love the...
Yeah, you've got to live as they live. You don't go to another country and live like you're from somewhere completely different.
The thing is, I don't want France to be like England or something. I want France to be French. I want to enjoy the French traditions and its costumes and its food and everything else, and I want to live the French way. And it's like if I go to Spain or Italy, I want to go to Spain, I want to be with the Spanish, I want to see how they live, I want to hear the language, I want to learn it, I want to, you know?
Yeah, well that's how we live in France.
Yeah.
That's how we live in France.
Yeah. So
but yeah, what do you think of where we live now?
I love it because I love it here because it's full of tradition, and it's and I love that about each region in France that you go to. They've all got their own traditions and their costumes, and but I love it here because it feels very familiar to me. It just feels, I don't know, it's just very easy to step into. People are very kind, but they're very friendly, and it's nice. It's a good balance.
Yeah, no, I think that everyone around here is really, really nice. It's nice. It's a nice area. It's certainly it's an area that it does feel like that. Like you say, it doesn't feel like a strange place to be living.
No. And I would definitely recommend this part of France because it's affordable.
It is, and you've got good, well, I say good links, reasonable links to Paris and other places. But you've got to, technically, if you're going to move somewhere around this area, you've got to have an understanding of how you're going to pay your way. That's an important thing, because again, depending what you do, jobs are few and far between or hard to come by. They can be. And
life in France isn't cheap. So what you have to know is that life in France is quite expensive. So you do get this amazing quality of life. It's true. You get beautiful, amazing places and landscapes, and the country is rich in amazing places to go and visit, and beaches and mountains and all these wonderful things. But it does have one of the most amazing healthcare systems as well, which is another video that would be worth doing. But you know, life in France is not cheap, so food is expensive.
Yeah,
Shopping is one of the most expensive things.
Yeah, I mean, I think shopping, the food side of it is the most expensive part of France. There's things that are cheaper, without a doubt. I mean, we've spoken about it before, but getting mortgages and so forth is a lot cheaper. But actually, day-to-day living, like food, is more expensive. Certain things, you know, wine, where we are, wine and cider, and cheese as well.
This is
actually.
cranberry juice, by the way. I'm not
Yeah.
drinking wine.
But wine like wine and cider and
Yes.
cheese is reasonably cheap.
Well,
around
the
here
local produce.
because it's locally produced.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to, you know, go.
But not always, not everything, not all local. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Sorry?
But like when you go to like the farm shops,
Well, yeah, that's farm shops.
it's not cheap.
But it's farm. You can go to the supermarket and you can buy a bottle of wine for €2. You can buy, you know, a bottle of cider for €2, and it's locally produced.
We could do another
you
video
can,
on this.
You can buy cheese, which is €1. So you can get drunk and have a meal reasonably cheap. But other things, like if you want chicken, you want these sort of things, and vegetables are expensive as well. You end up spending more, I find, in France, more of your money actually on that side of life and bills than anything else.
Yeah. So I think food, I think also clothes and things like that are
Yes.
expensive. Shoes
And
that
electronics as
is
well.
a lot of money. Electronics.
Yeah, general stuff in your home. Like if you want to buy new beds or a new washing machine, all these sort of things are surprisingly expensive.
That's why we go to Brocants.
Yeah.
We don't go to Boot or to the big shops, do we?
No, we don't. I mean, there's things we have bought from the main shops, but that's when they've had deals on and things. But
it was a long time ago.
It was. Well, we got the cooker hood.
Oh yeah,
and that was and the cooker. That was on a deal though.
I think things like that are a bit different, but I think if you're talking about sofas and tables and furniture and things like that,
sort of thing, yeah.
Go to the Brocants.
Yeah,
don't even go to the new, you know, all the shops, the brand new stuff.
No, if you want to buy wardrobes and things like that, always go to the second-hand shops and the Brocants and those sort of antique shops, because you'll get something which is going to last you and outlive you.
Yeah.
For a lot less than you'd pay for the cheap prefabricated rubbish.
And the quality is just phenomenal. You know, you're going to get real furniture.
That is true.
But yes, I would say, you know, life is more expensive in France. Taxes are more expensive.
No, general income tax isn't actually. Income tax.
But there's a lot of other
there's other things. Yeah, I mean it's
I mean, when you get your pay slip in France, it's about this long.
Yeah. It is. It's huge.
With the amount of things that
you're
paying to go out.
Yeah, this is true. It does, and I still don't understand what most of the stuff coming off it means.
We could go over that. We could do a video on that.
Yeah, I think probably a good idea because I'd like to know myself. But it's. Yeah, I suppose it's comparable to other areas and other countries, I suppose, in some ways. Some things are more expensive than others, some things are cheaper than others. But that's the cost of living in France.
Yep.
If you want to live in the UK, you've got a cost of living there as well.
Yes.
Or in the US, or Italy, or Spain, or Germany. Everywhere's got their own kind of cost of living. It's cheaper on some things, more expensive on others.
That's it. Yeah. But otherwise, everyone's very friendly here. People are welcoming.
They are.
Schools are very nice.
Yeah.
They're very nice. Not all of them. I mean, not everywhere. Not everywhere. I can't say our experience has been like that everywhere.
No, I would say not like that everywhere.
We have had a particular town that we were in before we settled down, not far from here, which was awful.
That wasn't particularly.
And I am being down the line honest with you, because it goes to show that not everywhere in France is going to be fantastic and everything's wonderful. There are places that are not as good. And that's just how it is. I suppose that's like anywhere, like every country, you're going to have some really good places and then you'll get some not so good.
Yeah, and I like some of the shops in that town are really nice. I like some of the shops there, but actually,
it is one of the bigger towns though in the area.
But yeah, I mean, some of the shops in that are really good there.
But the schools are dire.
Schools are bad.
Awful schools.
It generally wasn't the nicest place to live.
No.
I'll be honest. It's a bit more expensive. More expensive than where we are now to buy. A lot more expensive because you're close to a town. And it wasn't as nice. The land didn't feel quite as nice either. And it wasn't a million miles from here, but it just wasn't where we were going to settle long term.
It just wasn't the place for us, and we knew that. I think you know when somewhere's just not your kind of place, and just move on. But that's why it's good to just do your visits and make sure you're visiting and sure about where you're going. And where else? I mean, I would say, God, this video is going to be really long, but I just want to say quickly, Saint-Nazaire, I grew up there as a child for a few years, and I can say from a young me, I loved it. It was a great town, it felt safe. I travelled on my own a lot of the time on buses and things like that, and I never felt unsafe. It was a nice buzzing, it is a nice buzzing town. It's big actually, isn't it, Saint-Nazaire? It's a big boat town, they make boats.
Yeah, I mean,
I've
only been there once with you, but it's a big place.
It is big, but it's on the coast of the Atlantic coast, going into Brittany, and it's just beautiful. The people are amazing, lovely people, really lovely people. So, and I think it is a bit more expensive though around there, so the prices are a bit high around there. So I do know that because it's quite a desirable place to live in France. It's quite a popular place.
Yeah, it's a big town.
Popular area. Yeah.
So cities are automatically you're increasing the price.
Yeah, and you're going to get work around there, and Nantes isn't far. Nantes is lovely as well. Same thing. I would just say yes, a big yes to that area. Really lovely, beautiful surrounding places to visit. Chateaus. You've got the Loire Valley not far going through there, and it's beautiful. And Paris isn't somewhere I would want to live or bring my children up in, but other people love it and they bring their children up there and they say it's fantastic. Yet again, I think it's what you can afford and the lifestyle that you can offer yourselves, because that will change a lot in Paris, depending on the lifestyle that you can afford. But otherwise, Paris is an amazing place to be. There's so many places to visit. It's got an amazing buzz in the air. I've never felt unsafe, but then I haven't been there for quite a few years, and so I can't really talk about Paris too much myself right now.
Yeah, I can't comment on Paris. Never lived there.
It's been a long time since I've been there, but my memories from Paris have always been good. It's always been a lovely place to be, a lovely place to visit, and I think there's lots of places worth going to, definitely. I think it's a lovely capital city. But, every capital city has its, its difficulties and pros and cons. So, I think for now, this is a long enough video.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we've had a good chat, and I'll probably watch it back and think, God, I didn't say this, we didn't talk about that. But we can always make more videos. So, we just want to say thank you to you all for joining us again, and thank you to all our new subscribers as well. So we really appreciate that, and we really hope that you're enjoying these little chatty videos, because we really enjoy making them, and we just want to share, what our experiences are being in France and living here, and everything that we can share, anything that's going to be helpful. So don't forget to subscribe and ring the little notification button, and share our videos as well, share them around, and and we will see you in the next video. And we've got a few ideas for the next video, but we keep it as a surprise, really. Until the next time, take care and have a great weekend. Take care, bye.
See you later, bye-bye.